Do you know what a dental dam is? Do you know how to use one? I'm Heather Elizabeth of AuthenticSexualYou.com, and this week we are talking about safer sex supplies, specifically latex barriers that you can use for oral sex and dental dams and all that kind of good stuff. Safer sex is a really important part of a lot of people's sexuality. It helps reduce disease transmission and STI infection. It stops people from getting pregnant, and also it gives people the confidence they often need to really show up and be present in the sex they're having, because they know that they're having a safer sex or a level of protection that kind of meets within their risk tolerance, so that when they're engaging with you, they can actually be engaged with you and not worrying about whether or not they're going to catch something that they didn't want to from this, that the barriers aren't in place, or that something else is happening where they have to check out and focus. But if you don't know how to use safer sex supplies, or if you don't have them on you, then you can't really well work them into your routine and get all the benefits from them. So that's what we're talking about this week. Number one objection to safer sex supplies is that people don't carry them on them, right? So I'm going to give you a little pro tip from me. This is my safer sex kit specifically for people who have vulvas. So if you peek inside here, I've got this whole handy kit made up. It's got lube, it's got hybrid silicone lube. The first lube is water-based. It's got non-lubricated condoms, it's got lubricated condoms, and it's got gloves. And it stays all in this handy little pouch so that when I'm going away for the weekend, I can just throw this in my bag, and this is great. I've got smaller ones to fit in smaller purses, or to fit in my my little clutch if I'm going out for the night. But I carry them on me so that I'm prepared, either if I need them or if someone else I know needs them. Number two thing that stops people from using safer sex supplies often is not knowing, what they are or how to work with them. So that's what we're going to go through now. This is a dental dam. Show it really close, like that. It's just a latex barrier. That's all that means. So when you actually crack it open, you get this. Dun-dun. What you can't smell is that this one is flavored like vanilla, so kind of there's this like vanilla burst around me right now. But it's just a thin sheet, and you use it by taking, let's say, the area you want to cover and draping it over top, and then holding it in place. You can see it's really thin, it's stretchy because it is latex, right? So you can stretch it out good. Pro tip for using dental dams, these are unlubricated on either side. You don't want to put lubrication on the side you're going to be using, the side that your tongue is going to be on, but to help it stick and to help make it more pleasurable for the person you're doing it with, you can put lube on the other side. So that works like this. This is Spunk Lube. I think it's a lot of fun. It's a hybrid silicone thing. So I'm just going to put a little bit on my hand here. You can see that I'm pale and it's kind of white, so it might not show up that well. But that goes like that. The dental dam goes over top. And then you see how nicely that moves around? So I'm not having any of the friction. It's not going to burn. It's going to be nice and lubricated and moist. And then go to town, do my thing. You also see that it helps it stick. See, it's got a really good grip to it just because it has lube on it. So you don't actually have to worry too much about it falling away. If you're in a pinch and don't have a dental dam, I'm going to show you some hacks that you can use to get one, okay? So take your condom. You should check the expiration date first. I didn't do that stuff, bad sex educator. And this is one of the few times we're going to tell you to grab scissors when you're using safer sex supplies. But you want to unroll the condom. Then you want to take a pair of scissors and just cut. And I've used a non-lubricated condom because, again, I don't particularly like the flavor of condom lube in my mouth. But use whatever you've got handy. See if I can cheat and tear. I can. So now, just by cutting the condom in half, I've made myself a makeshift dental dam. Again, same thing, really stretchy, really useful. I'm just gonna place it over the genitals and then I can go to town again. Another safer sex hack, same thing with gloves. Cut, give a tear. Again, you've got a barrier, and on the plus side with the gloves, you've actually got fingers that you can stick your tongue into to give your tongue a little more added protection. So those are how to use dental dams, and those are some ways that you can kind of makeshift one if you don't have one available for you at the moment. You use them to cover vulvas, you use them to cover anuses if you're participating in rimming, and also if you have a flaccid penis, because the thing about condoms is they really depend on the penis actually being erect. So if you don't have an erect penis that you're working with, because soft cocks are fun cocks too, right? You can just put a dental dam over top and then give yourself a lot more space to play with. If you aren't sure what type of safer sex supplies you should be using, check out this video here that I'm going to throw up for you. It's called Which Safer Sex Practices Do I Need to Use? And that will answer some of those questions. And in the meantime, I'll see you next week. Don't forget to share this video if there's something that struck a chord with you that you think someone else can use, okay? Bye.